The biggest transformation that the world is going to witness in the near future is complete decoupling from fossil fuels. Every country and its sector, in one way or another, is dependent on fossils, and hence, all the sectors are going through transformation. Well, some are at a fast pace like electricity, others are at a low speed. But one of the least discussed sector that use the most powerful and refined fossil source is also going green. Yes, I am talking about the aviation industry. Now, the aviation industry is reducing its dependence on fossil fuel to accommodate sustainable air fuel. And India is going to champion this change. In common parlance, the pollution in upper atmosphere is least discussed, simply because no direct effect is faced by us, right? But it has some adverse effect, like any other transportation medium. So, the aviation industry too needs to go towards renewable yet low carbon emitting fuel. This gives imputes to sustainable air fuel. Namaste and welcome to TFI Post. I am your host Shikhar Tripathi. Let's begin with the video report. Sustainable aviation fuel, which is SAF, is a type of fuel that is produced from sustainable feedstocks such as agricultural reduces, waste oils, non-food crops, and municipal solid waste. Unlike conventional jet fuel, which is derived from crude oil and has a high carbon footprint, SAF is produced using sustainable and renewable sources, making it an eco-friendly alternative. SAF has the potential to significantly reduce the aviation industry's carbon footprint and help achieve global climate goals. On a life cycle basis, it has been shown to reduce greenhouse gases emission by up to 80% compared to traditional jet fuel. The SAF is more acceptable for aviation sector compared to any other fuel because of its drop in fuel technology. It means that the SAF can be directly used in existing engines and seeks no alteration. Currently, the USA, European countries, and China are some prominent leaders in SAF uses. But why am I talking about the SAF today? Actually, India has taken a significant step towards the production of SAF. Indian Oil, along with the US-based clean energy technology firm LanzaJet, is planning to set up a joint venture. The proposed joint venture will set up a plant to produce SAF with alcohol-to-jet, which is ATG technology, at the state-run company's Panipat refinery in Haryana at the cost of 3,000 crore. It is worth noting that ATG is technology that is used to convert bio-basic alcohol like ethanol into jet fuel. As per reports, the share of the company will be divided among IOCL, LanzaJet, and a bunch of airline companies, whereas IOCL will hold 50% of the shares. LanzaJet will account for 25% of the share. The remaining 25% will be under different airline companies. Interestingly, the airline share is reserved after domestic airlines expressed interest in being a part of this venture. In proportion to their respective share, IOCL and LanzaJet will invest 1,500 crore and 750 crores respectively. According to industry officials, Tata Group's Air India and Vistara, Indigo, Go First, and Blue Dart are approached for investment, where each company will get a minority stake for rupees 100 to 150 crores. Initially, the suggested facilities aims to produce 85,000 metric ton of SAF per annum by utilizing technology that transform corn-based cellulosic or sugar-based ethanol into SAF. However, there are concerns too. For airlines, investment in non-core area can affect the liquidity maintenance efforts, which is the core area of investment. Apart from that, SAF production is a costly and exhaustive process. If the 5% of SAF is blended with conventional jet fuel, the ticket price for an average 2-hour flight will increase by around 180 rupees. As per the airline executive, this problem can be resolved if the emission reduction is pushed by government policies. However, the concerns are based on current pricing and production. Once production and uses become common, the issue may be resolved. If we go by the fact the airline sector target net zero emission until 2050, the World Economic Forum reported that airline emissions are responsible for 2.5% of global CO2 emissions. As per the plan of aviation industry, SAF can contribute a major role in net zero target. To achieve net zero, SAF would eliminate 65% its emission. 13% will be eliminated through the introduction of new technology including electric and hydrogen, while offsets and carbon capture will eradicate 19% of emission. Infrastructure and operational efficiencies will contribute to eradicate of the remaining 3% of CO2 emission. As per the International Air Transport Association, which is IATA, India's air passenger traffic is expected to increase to 442 million by 2035, with 322 million new air travelers, as the domestic aviation market has grown by over 20% for more than a year. IATA's 20-year air passenger forecast also predicts that India will become the third largest aviation market, surpassing the UK by 2026. The report further estimates that the demand for the air travel globally will nearly double from 3.8 billion travelers to 7.2 billion in next 20 years, with an annual compound average growth rate of 3.7%. Considering this anticipation to be correct, India would need SAF as much as any other country in the world. But as per today's policy, India is seeking self-reliance, and thus it becomes necessary for the government of India to work efficiently towards SAF. In another report published last November, Sebastian Mikosh, Senior Vice President for Environment and Sustainability at IATA, said that India is one of the countries with the largest potential to produce SAF. So, the initiation of the joint venture and subsequent start of production will actually give India an upper hand over many other countries. It is the best time for India to incorporate SAF because air transport in India is undergoing a reformation at this time, and it will be comfortable for the industry to go through a shift. Additionally, the USA is the leading producer of SAF and India is agriculture-rich country. Of late, the government of India has given special emphasis to ethanol production, which could be used as fuel and premix. So, this joint venture has all the potential to become a successful initiative and benefit the Indian aviation industry.